SMS Braunschweig was the first of 5 pre-dreadnought battleships of the Braunschweig class in the German Kaiserliche Marine. She was laid down in 1901 and commissioned in October 1904 at a cost of 23,983,000 marks. She was named after the then Duchy of Brunswick. Her sister ships were Elsass, Hessen, Preussen, and Lothringen. The ship served in the 2 Squadron of the German fleet after commissioning, though by the outbreak of World War I she had been moved to the 4 Squadron. Braunschweig saw action in the Baltic Sea against the Russian Navy. In August 1915, the ship participated in the Battle of the Gulf of Riga, during which she engaged the Russian battleship Slava. In 1916, the ship was placed in reserve owing to crew shortages. She spent the remainder of World War I as a training ship, and after 1917, as a barracks ship for U-boat crews. Under the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, she was retained after the end of the war and modernized in 1921–22. Braunschweig served in the reformed Reichsmarine as a coastal defense ship, until 1926, when she was again placed in reserve. She was stricken in 1931 and subsequently broken up for scrap construction. Braunschweig was laid down in 1901 at the Germania Werft in Kiel under construction number 97. The first of her class, she was ordered under the contract name H as a new unit for the fleet. The ship cost 23,983,000 marks. Braunschweig was launched on the 20th of December 1902 and commissioned into the fleet on the 15th of October 1904. The ship was 127.70 meters long overall and had a beam of 22.20 meters and a draft of 8.10 meters forward. The ship was powered by 3 3-cylinder vertical triple expansion engines that drove 3 screws. Steam was provided by 8 naval and 6 cylindrical boilers, all of which burned coal. Braunschweig's power plant was rated at 16,000 indicated horsepower, which generated a top speed of 18 knots. Braunschweig's armament consisted of a main battery of 428 cm SKL, 40 guns in twin-gun turrets, 1 fore and 1 aft of the central superstructure. Her secondary armament consisted of 14 17 cm SKL, 40 guns and 18 8.8 cm SKL, 35 quick-firing guns. The armament suite was rounded out with 6 45 cm torpedo tubes, all mounted submerged in the hull. Service history. Upon commissioning in October 1904, Braunschweig was assigned to the 2 Division of the 2 Squadron of the German fleet. She was joined by her sister Elsass the following month. The 2 Division was rounded out by the old battleship Weissenberg. The German Navy in 1905 consisted of 4 divisions of 3 battleships each with 2 divisions per squadron. This was supported by Cruiser Division, composed of 2 armored cruisers and 6 protected cruisers. After the outbreak of World War I in 1914, Braunschweig was assigned to the IV Battle Squadron of the High Seas Fleet. The squadron was commanded by Vice Admiral Erhard Schmidt. In July 1915, following the loss of the Milan cruiser SMS Albatross in the Baltic, the 4 squadron ships were transferred to reinforce the German naval forces in the area. On 11 and 19 July, German cruisers, with the 4 squadron ships in support, conducted sweeps in the Baltic, though without engaging Russian forces. In August 1915, the German fleet attempted to clear the Gulf of Riga of Russian naval forces, in order to aid the German army advancing on the city. The 4 Squadron was joined by the 1 Squadron, which consisted of the 8 Nassau and Helgoland-class battleships from the High Seas Fleet, along with 3 battlecruisers and a host of smaller craft. The task force was placed under command of Vice Admiral Franz von Hipper, though operational command remained with Vice Admiral Schmidt. On the morning of the 8th of August, the Germans made their initial push into the Gulf. Braunschweig and Elsass were tasked with engaging the Russian pre-dreadnought Slava and preventing her from disrupting the German minesweepers. However, when it became clear that the minesweepers could not clear the minefield before nightfall, Schmidt called off the attempt. A second attempt was made on the 16th of August. This time, Braunschweig remained outside the Gulf while the dreadnoughts Nassau and Posen took over the task of dealing with Slava. By the 19th of August, the Russian minefields had been cleared and the flotilla entered the Gulf. Reports of Allied submarines in the area, however, prompted the Germans to call off the operation the following day. On the 12th of October, the British submarine E-18 fired a single torpedo at Braunschweig, though it failed to hit its target. Due to manpower shortages, the 4 squadron ships were demobilized. In 1916, Braunschweig became a training ship. On the 20th of August 1917, she was transferred for use as a barracks ship stationed in Kiel. In this role, the ship supported the 3 submarine flotilla. The Treaty of Versailles, which ended the war, specified that Germany was permitted to retain 6 battleships of the Deutschland to Lothringen types. Braunschweig was chosen to remain on active service with the newly reformed Reichsmarine. The ship was modernized at the Kriegsmarine in Wilhelmshaven from 1921–22. In 1923, Braunschweig's bridge was rebuilt and enlarged. She and Elsass, along with the Deutschland-class battleship Schlesien, were assigned to the North Sea Station. The ship served with the fleet until 1926, when she was withdrawn from active duty and placed in reserve. On the 31st of March 1931, Braunschweig was stricken from the Naval Register and temporarily used as a hulk in Wilhelmshaven before being broken up for scrap.